In these GOAT discussions, I'm always perplexed. Um, People they try to come up with criteria uh, by which to determine who the greatest player is. And what they essentially do is they go by each player that's generally considered to be in the conversation, and they compare attributes, and all of the attributes are essentially treated equally. You know, so um, essentially they just add up the number, and whoever has the highest number of accomplishments is the GOAT. So you know, oh well, Michael's got six Finals MVPs, and Tim Duncan has three Finals MVPs, and Kareem's got six regular season MVPs, and Kobe only has one. So he can't really be in the conversation. And I've always been unpersuaded by that that approach, and um, I had to really sit down and reevaluate my thinking. I had to listen to a very, very in-depth conversation with Ticket TV. Shout out to Ticket TV. Um, and they were talking about, of course, the consensus was Kobe was around maybe top five player, five, six, et cetera, et cetera. Amazingly, most of these people still thought that Shaq was um, deserved the credit for three-peating in the early 2000s, but I digress. So, um, the thing is, it is my contention that not all accomplishments are equal, and the proof is when you look at some accomplishments, very few people accomplish them. Um, Tom Brady retired today, and just an amazing career. I personally never would have thought that a football player uh, would play for 22 years, um, well into his 40s, uh, at an MVP level. Um, I never would have thought that, and to have more Super Bowl championships than just about all other franchises. Um, I mean, to say that he's the GOAT of the NFL is just, a vast understatement. Um, the consensus is that it's either him or Michael Jordan. That's sort of the GOAT of GOATs. And, I certainly wouldn't disagree that Tom Brady is in that conversation. I think Kobe was a better player than Michael Jordan. Um, but I when you think about Tom Brady, I said in the very opening, the very first video on this channel, that Kobe Bryant was the only player in professional sports history, recent modern professional sports history, to lead two dynasties. And I define dynasties as um, sustained championships. In other words, you defend titles. A lot of players have been on multiple great teams, and multiple great teams that won titles, but there is a higher level of accomplishment that comes with actually defending a championship. And again, the proof is that it doesn't happen very often. You know, Tom Brady has actually 7 championships. Kobe only had 5. And so, you know, if there were an overall sports GOAT list by that criteria, you might put Tom Brady ahead of Kobe. But I want you to think about something. Tom Brady tried 6 times to defend a Super Bowl championship and was only able to do it once. So he won and then won 6 more times and was only able to do it once. Well, I guess actually 7 times. Yeah, I mean, because for every Super Bowl that he won, he would have attempted to defend it, including this past year. So Tom Brady attempted to defend a Super Bowl championship 7 times and was only able to defend it once. Now, you may say, well, you know, but I mean, look at it. I mean, he won 3 out of 4, and just, I mean, that is, you know, it's amazing. He's won actually 3 of the last 5 Super Bowls. And then early on in his career, he won 3 or 4. So isn't that the same thing? Isn't that even better? Well, maybe, but I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. When you're the Super Bowl champion, the league sets its sights on you in a different way than it does when you are just merely a very good team and an obstacle in the league. Okay? And you know, the Bucks were just eliminated by the Los Angeles Rams. I want you to think about something. The Los Angeles Rams already had the best defensive player in the league. And they felt the necessity to go and sign Von Miller, forsaking future draft picks. Okay? Signing Von Miller. They already had the best cornerback in the league. Okay, they go out and a pretty good quarterback. You know, Jared Goff wasn't, you know, not chopped liver. There have been worse quarterbacks to win Super Bowls in NFL history. The Los Angeles Rams felt the need to upgrade their quarterback. These moves were done specifically to topple Tom Brady. This is what happens when you're the champion. The league aligns to defeat you. Okay? And it just doesn't respond quite that way. It's not focused on you per se. What happened when the Warriors were destroying the league with threes? Well, the Houston Rockets happened. You know, they designed an offense specifically to compete with the Warriors in hitting threes, and almost did it. I mean, that Rockets team, by all rights, should have toppled the KD Warriors. I mean, it just literally took an historic flop to keep the the Rockets from winning that series. So I just feel like defending a title should be given far more weight. I hear, you know, this narrative about finals MVPs. And the thing is about the finals MVPs, first of all, I mean Iggy is Iguodala, you know, he had a final. He's got a Finals MVP. Okay, but putting that aside, what exactly does the Finals MVP convey? Well, it means you had a good series. It means you had a good series. The Finals does not necessarily. It is not necessarily composed of the best two teams in the league. And we know that it usually isn't. In the last 20 years, the Western Conference Finals is usually where the best two teams in the leagues are matched up. Okay? So that a player excelled in the finals means they're probably excelling against a lesser team. Um, I just think that looking at regular season awards and series awards and ranking them as if they are as significant as accomplishing something no one else has accomplished and something every other player was attempting to accomplish. Because you understand, every player that steps on that court is trying to win the championship, and if they are the champions, they're trying to defend it. Not everybody's trying to win the MVP. You know, they're role players, and not everybody's trying to do that. Okay. Some accomplishments are greater than others, and I would contend that Kobe, leading two dynasties, the second of which, wherein he did not have a teammate that was on the all 75 team, is the greatest accomplishment in NBA history. And I think it's time that we give him credit for that.